Hello beautiful souls. I did a tutorial on how to crochet these doilies, and I'm going to share with you what I made, the projects that I made using these doilies. I ended up making charms. They could be either angels, fairies, they could be ballerinas. Look how sweet that is. And I'm going to do 2 short tutorials on how to put one of these together. And I'm going to show you an alternative for those who do not know how to crochet. I will show you an alternative that you can still make these pretty ornaments or charms using lace appliques. That's one there. I've also, oh, by the way, this is a glass bead. And look at the little legs. The gold findings that you see here, I purchased on eBay. I purchased these on eBay. I will tell you the size of the jump ring, the size of the flat head pin that I use. I'm going to share with you the size of this bead cap. I won't be able to share all that I use because a lot of stuff that I use I've already had in my stash, and a lot of the beads that I have I bought like bracelets and necklaces, and I just took them apart. I've even used wood beads. Look how pretty that is. I know Ida would like this one because this is sort of vintage colors. Ida is my dear friend from Created to Create. Look at that. These are all wood beads. Those are the legs. And I've also used tulle. You know, it gave it a little bit more flair. It gave it a little bit more interest. Here's another one using a cream color. And then here's one using the turquoise. And this is acrylic and this is glass. So some have acrylic and some have glass beads. I love this green color. Look how pretty that color is. And these beads I got as a gift from Sabrina, who is the X Factor Studio. So this came in handy, Sabrina. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I ended up finding small ones, a lighter shade than this green. It's not quite a mint green. It's like a jade color. It's like frosted. They're so pretty. Somebody was coming in the house, so my dog barks every time that happens. Okay. And I used, like the same color tulle as this pretty frosted jade color. Mint green is so pretty. So pretty. And then here I used a different kind of bead. This is also glass, and it's lamp work. It's called the lamp work beads. It's handmade. It is so pretty. It has like it mimics a rose inside there. So I love those. Those are my favorite beads. And then here's an alternative. You can use applique flowers and layer them. I forgot to add my tulle down here, but I like it without the tulle, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And here's another glass bead. And this is an acrylic bead. Okay, and then if for those who don't crochet, you can use your flower appliques to create fairies, to create ballerinas, to create angels. These will be pretty for this holiday season on Christmas trees. Aren't they pretty? They will be so pretty. These are great for TNs, for journal books, for mini albums, charms to hang on your purses. They're very, very pretty. Here is another one. That's a flower applique. And here I used the yellow. This is like a gold color bead. This is acrylic. This is glass. And a lot of these findings I get from, like, you know, breaking up bracelets. I buy bracelets. I have like local discount stores here in the avenue where I reside, and they sell like these pretty bracelets that have all these pretty you know, usually I find these in the bracelets, this glass faceted bead, and they sell them for like $1.50. In some places I can get them for $1. And they're so pretty. So these come off of those bracelets, a lot of these findings. And then look at the itty bitty teeny weeny one. Isn't that so cute? I love this one. Is so tiny. Look at the little legs in there. So pretty. And then you can, I have a piece of lace here that I cut round, and then I sewed lace. You know, I gathered it as I went along, sewing on the edge of the lace. And this is one of my favorites because she really looks shabby, almost like Marie Antoinette. I love this one. And this is an acrylic. They call these like bell trumpet beads, if I'm not mistaken. I will give you the measurements of those. Look at that. And I made her with really long legs because this dress was really long. It's so pretty. I love this one. This is my favorite. And I also layered it with one of the crochet doilies that I had created, and another flower applique. So you can layer this with another with a flower applique instead of a doily if you don't have those. And here's another one where I sewed. This one is real bushy, right? This is a bigger bell trumpet bead. I think they're also called tulip beads. They might be called that. And look at the pretty legs on that one. This one is gorgeous too. I love this one. This one looks like a Spain doll. So pretty. And then the other thing that I did was I cut up lace. You know, certain laces have like parts in the lace where you can cut it out as an applique. So that's what I did here. And look how pretty that one turned out. And this one I got from a bracelet, and look how gorgeous that bead is. Gorgeous. And I only have 2 of these, so now I only have one left since I used one here. Oh my goodness, I love this one. And lastly, I don't normally do purple, but I love the way this purple one came out. Again, I cut off certain parts of the lace and used them as appliques and sewed them on a piece of lace that I cut round, and I sewed it around it. I did it by hand. No glue was used here at all. I didn't want to use any kind of glue on these at all. And again, another crochet lace and a lace flower applique. Before I move on to the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make one like this with sewing that on, and I'm going to show you how to put just one of these together with just a tulle and the crochet lace, or it could be an applique flower, so you can use either or. Okay, and the other thing I want to show you are these. These are so tiny. These I bought quite some time ago, and let me show you what they look like. So these are just like skeleton bodies because I call them skeleton. They're not skeleton, but they're so you know, the legs and the arms are so slim. They're so thin, so they kind of look a little bit skeleton-y to me. But here's a body, a torso, an upper torso here, and there goes her boobies. And you know, you dress it up. You put a bead here, you know, for the head. And so these I bought quite some time ago. I saw somebody haul these. I believe it was Mandy's Place. And they were already dressed up. She already bought them, you know, put together like that. And I wanted just to find the body so that I can, you know, make it myself, do it myself. And these how they turned out. And I bought them in 3 different colors. I bought them in the antique bronze, which is this one here. Look how cute. Look how tiny. And I added glass beads here. They all have glass beads. There's nothing acrylic on these at all. Except maybe for this one who has an acrylic flower here. But that's just the charm that she's holding. They all have like a hole in the hand, like it's closed like this, and it has a little hole there so that you can hang a charm off of it. I thought that was so cute and clever. But other than that, there's not anything. And you know, this one I used a wood bead for the head. There's no plastic stuff here other than that. Okay, so that is the bronze, and then here's the silver. The silver is really silver. I love that silver. And then I'm going to show you the gold. And this one has a heart, a gold heart with, this looks like my birthstone, which is topaz. It's like a gold yellow color. These turned out so pretty, and I crocheted these, and before I closed the magic circle, I actually completed the whole dress or skirt, and then I put it on her, and then I closed the magic circle so they could fit her perfectly. They turned out so pretty. I didn't want to put lace because then I will have to sew it and gather it, and it's going to be a little bit bulky. And I'm glad I waited to put these together because I bought these months ago. Like, I don't even know, maybe during the summertime of last year or springtime of last year. So I had them for quite some time and didn't do anything with them. I'm glad I waited. And then, of course, I have the gunmetal color. I didn't have like the findings for this color, so I just put silver. I figured it would still match with silver. So these are all, I wish I can show them all to you, but we're already at 14 minutes and I want to do, you know, the tutorial. And now let's get started with putting these together. I'm going to do this on a time lapse because so much time already has passed. I'm looking for my bead caps. So I will give you some of the measurements for the jewelry findings and other stuff that I'll be using here. So you're going to need 3 head pins for each angel or ornament, charm, ballerina. So this is 22 gauge and they're 2 inches long. I'm gonna invest on shorter ones because when I do legs, I actually cut off, you know, depending how long or short they are, a substantial amount. And then this here is about 12 millimeters. And the bigger one is 14 millimeters. I actually had my boyfriend cut some of it off with the Dremel because it was a little bit too long and it looked out of proportion to me. So he cut some of that off for me. But that is 14 millimeters, that large one that I showed you. And these are called, again, trumpet flower beads or bell trumpet flower beads. I guess they can also be called tulip beads. I use 6mm jump rings for the legs and for the lobster claw. I use 2 of those for each angel. I don't know the size of these because I bought, this was a bracelet, and this bead cap here is 15mm. Just type in, go to eBay or, Google 15, bead caps, and it'll give you a whole slew of different sizes. So you may want to use a different size. I don't know what size is this one because also this came from a bracelet. So that's all the information that I have. All right. And the key to putting this together is to make sure that everything is, the pieces you're going to use is pretty thin. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time pushing it through here. And we are not going to use any glue because that is not needed at all. And I'm going to be using these for the legs, for the feet. And this size is 6 by 10 mm teardrop beads. And I'll also be using these that are also teardrop, and these are iridescent. I'll be using 2 of those. Look how pretty those are. And they are acrylic. They do have these in glass. I'm not sure if they're iridescent, but they have them in clear glass as well. So I'll be using those. That goes over there. And you're going to need tiny beads. These are acrylic, but you can also have seed beads in glass. And these are glass. I don't know what size of these, by the way, but you're going to need these, and you'll see why. So as I put this, just follow along as I'm putting it together, because this will be on a time lapse. The first one that I will put together is the one that is crocheted here, and you're going to need 3 pieces of tulle. And what I've done is I laid this on top of the tulle, and I use this color. I'm going to use this color for this one. And what you do is you lay whether it's a flower applique, and you lay it on top, and then I just cut it just a little bit bigger than the crochet or the crochet doily here or the flower applique. I just cut it just a little bit bigger than that around, and I do that 3 times. I cut it out 3 times. And the same thing here. I actually did this one a little bit bigger. You probably won't be able to see it because this is so transparent. But I cut it just a little bit bigger because this is going to have lace gathered around here. So of course it's going to be a little bit more wider. So I did cut this one way bigger than just a little bit. And then cut yourself a circle. You decide how big you want that. I'm not going to give you measurements for that. Use your imagination, and everybody likes things different. So I want you to tap into your own creativity. So cut it out the size that you want. I don't know what diameter this is. Let me see if I can read this properly. This is about 2 3/4. The lace, and then the tulle is about, what is that? It's just under 3 3/4. What was that, 3 5/8? I think. I'm not sure. So whatever the line under the 3 3/4 is the size of the tulle. So again, cut 3 of those out. So we're gonna go ahead and put this one together. The first thing I like to do, I'm going to do this first before I do the time lapse. Before I go into the time lapse, is I'm going to cut one of the heads off. Make sure I hold both of them so it doesn't fly out. And then I'm going to make this loop. I'm going to angle it a little bit so it could be straight, and close it. So this is going to be where I'm going to dangle the legs. you decide how long or short you want your legs. I like my legs to peek out, you know, a little bit. This one is actually a little bit more than a little bit. I like that too. But depending on how, you know, long or short you want your legs, you will bead your head pin accordingly to that. So you decide. So we did this one and this one. I kind of goofed because I wanted this one to have the iridescent teardrop bead, and that's okay. And here I used 8 of these little round beads, and here I used 9 since I knew this dress was going to be bigger. So if you want to buy them, let me know. Any of these, or you can make them yourself. You don't necessarily have to spend money, but I know that everybody doesn't, you know, want to make these, or they don't, you know, crochet. So, or maybe they may not have flower appliques, or they may not have, you know, lace that you can cut apart. Thank you for stopping by. All is well. Let's share, be fair, be filled with love, and love one another. Take good care, everybody.